Okay, welcome back. So I've now got to build the main frame, and to do that I need to install the ESCs. And as I said before, I'm going to replace these Hexsoon ESCs with these Holybro Teco ESCs. I did check this. I connected it to a different flight controller and checked that they aren't BL Heli in any shape or form, and they're not. They're just PWM ESCs, so I'm not going to use these. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use these leads. So they got these nice bullet connectors on the end, so I'm going to desolder these on each of the ESCs and solder those leads onto the new ESCs. And then I have to solder the ESC power to this power distribution board that Hexsoon supply. And this, I guess the main purpose of this is it's got the LED connectors here, so they all come in here, and then there's an output here which will be able to connect to the flight controller. But I'm also going to wire the ESCs on, and there's not the power in is only on a single side, and if you remember, I'm going to run 2 batteries off this, so I suspect this is going to be a bit tricky to put 2 power leads on each of these pads. So I think what I'll probably do is use the connector that comes with the kit. This is an XT90 connector, and I'll wire 2 of these sort of back to back, and then have a lead coming off there, and basically use the connector connection to be the place where I squeeze it all together. So I think that should work quite well and be nice and clean. Then I only have a couple of leads coming off the batteries, which should be good. So lots of soldering to do, so I'm going to get on with that, and once I've got that done, I should be able to then start assembling the frame. Okay, so I've unsoldered all the leads from these, and clearly this was using this lead-free solder that most manufacturers use these days, which requires, it has a very high melting point, so I had to turn up the soldering iron to 480. I don't want to solder these at that temperature, so I've put some good old leaded solder on the ends of the leads, so that I can work at a lower temperature, and then I'll tin these up and attach the leads. So hopefully that should go well. Okay, those have gone on quite nicely, as you can see. Just had to slot those in the end, and I need to put some signal wires on the end and the power wires, and also these ESCs take a capacitor, so just because of the complexity of the soldering, I'm going to do the signal wires first, and then I'll do the capacity and the power leads afterwards. The Holybro signal wires don't come with any connectors on, so I think I might be lazy and just steal the ones off these off these Hexsoon ESCs, because these have got nice long signal wires on, so I can route those anywhere I like, and I think that'll be a bit easier. So I'll desolder these, solder them on there, probably put the telemetry wire on just for fun, just in case I want to get telemetry out of the ESCs. And I'll probably use BD shot anyway to get the ESC information, and then solder on the power leads. Alright, that seemed fairly successful, so in the end I chopped the signal wire off the other ones. That was easier to get a clean cut, and you can see I've soldered them in there. and then put in a telemetry wire, and then soldered on the power leads first, because it just requires a very hot iron. And then I just bent the capacitor leads just so it sort of fits on top of the power leads, tinned those up, and then just quickly soldered those down. Not the best soldering skills in the world, but could be worse. Hopefully these leads are long enough. They're a little bit shorter than the other ones, but I've got plenty of room, plenty of slack on the motor wire, so I'm not really concerned about that. So pretty pleased with that. So I'll put a piece of heat shrink on, which comes with these as well, just to cover them up and keep them tidy. But I'll solder up the others now. Alright, done. So that's all four. I haven't put the heat shrink on yet, but that's come out pretty well. Pretty pleased with that. So next step is to solder the ESCs to the power distribution board and put on the battery leads. So more soldering required. So I'll just keep going. Alright, so I've got some nice 10 gauge wire here that I got from my Chimera project, and then I've got the wire that Hexsoon sent, which is a little narrower, 12 gauge or something. So what I'm going to do is crimp. So I've just cut off an 1.5 inches or something. I'm going to crimp these two ends together, in theory, into the hole here, and then solder it up. So hopefully I can get enough. Oh, will it go through there? It's not going to go through that hole, so I'm really force it. So we'll see whether that works or not. Feels a little bit like an experiment, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out.